I would much rather shit my entire
That
pants.
story you just told me is like, it's hard to be your friend now.
I'm no stranger to shitting my pants. It happens like way too often as an adult. I have to make a decision. I was like, do I do the walk of shame and squirt shit between my cheeks the whole way?
Ew.
Or do I puke? Or do I, like, what do? I don't really have an option here.
Anthony, Blake, and Dylan, the cold slice. Ooh.
Welcome back to the Cold Slice podcast. We have some news for you guys. We mentioned this earlier, I think when it was just, I think you and I talked about it for a little while, but we didn't bring Anthony into the mix. Well, today's that day. We will be starting an open mic comedy at Ridgefield Craft Brewing. So, pretty exciting. After that, after those couple of episodes with Ridgefield Craft Brewing, I kind of told them, what we do. Like, obviously they let us film for the podcast. We love those guys. They're super cool. And then they were like, well, we've wanted to get stand-up comedy going for a little while now at the Tap House. Mm-hmm. And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying we're looking at like late July, early August for starting that up.
Yeah. They're pretty cool. Yeah. Sun's out.
Yeah. They're working with Haley and I to get us playing music there again, too. So that would be cool.
That's exciting. I didn't know that.
That's cool. Me neither. Mm-hmm. Nice. He did ask for your phone number, and I gave it to him. I've just been giving out your phone number to people.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I give it out as mine anytime I don't want to do something.
Yeah. Dutch Bros Rewards.
Like, we'll respond to anybody.
Is this a gig? Yeah. So super cool. I'm very excited. That means I have a lot of work ahead of me, though. I've got a lot more open mics ahead of me before we do that, which is going to be hard because we've got our weddings and another bachelor trip and blah, 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 all this other shit. So in between then, I have to hit a couple of open mics, talk to comics, try to get them to come over to us in Ridgefield to do this open mic. But it is such a cool, venue. Like, if you guys haven't been there and you haven't seen people play live music there, it's fucking awesome. Like, they've got it going during the winter, during the summer, whatever. It's just like this long hallway-esque, beer hall, basically. And then at the very front, they've got a stage, and I'm like, I love it, dude. That's like the perfect place to do stand-up comedy. Like, Ridgefield already has a place that they do comic shows at, booked gigs and stuff like that. But literally right across the street, we'll be over here.
Yeah, makes me want a beer now.
I know, me too. Yeah. Why don't we drink on these podcasts anymore?
We used to.
We did.
You got in too much trouble.
That's also true. That's also true. I would always go home and I would sit on the couch and take a nap. And Jaden's like, we have so much stuff to do. You can't be getting wrecked on the podcast and come home.
I never cleaned up.
I think there became a negative connotation to us going to do the podcast. My wife's like, oh, great. It's like, let me guess, you're going golfing tomorrow morning too?
Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, so Anthony, I don't know how much you feel like participating in that. Not really your scene, I don't say.
I feel like I could definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
I have so much going on outside of the podcast itself too.
Yeah. That's true.
Fully committing to doing it is what's
rough.
difficult for me.
Yeah.
But I definitely will be there. As often as I can, and try to help out too. But
yeah, I think honestly, I'm kind of bouncing back and forth on ideas for this, and we can talk about it obviously right now in front of a live audience. But how do you feel about comedy bingo?
Yeah, you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah. So every time, so this is a crowd interactive, and we just go, here are your bingo cards. Anytime anyone mentions abortion, I don't know, being single.
Yeah.
Their private parts. Those are all bingo cards, and the first person to bingo gets a photo with one of those. I have a Polaroid thing that spits out a Polaroid right away. And we put their face on the wall because we can't afford actual prizes. So
I think that'd be fun. My biggest initial thought on that is like, how are we going to keep track? Like, we will have to be so zoned in on top of like you trying to MC it.
Yeah. I like to listen to it. I listen to them all.
Oh, well, of course. But I mean, like, every bingo card's going to be.
So every bingo card's different. Is that how bingo works?
Yes. They're in different orders, and I don't know.
See a bunch of people being like, bingo, and then bringing their cards over. They're like, oh, they did mention that. They did mention this. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
We have to have like a master card or master, sheet or something that like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's going to be two of us there. So like, one person can MC and then the other person can do stuff like that. And then we'll swap off throughout the thing,
No one can order a drink.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a thought. I also really.
It's a fun idea.
Yeah, I think
it'd be for the audience, right?
I think there's definitely something there, and we could figure out the details.
Because I think it keeps people engaged to listen.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we advertise it as like, this is comedy bingo, because like that sounds fucking terrible. But if we're just like, hey, you showed up, here's a free bingo card, Do
you think we should keep the cards and the topics a secret?
Yes.
So
the comics don't catch wind.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think any comic would be, would want to be told what they're going to talk about.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Although that could be a fun round too, though, is where we like, okay, hey, now you're doing like, freestyle session on this topic. Go for it.
Improv. Yeah. I definitely don't want to become an improv troupe. I think that's terrible. I think we've proven that we can't do that on all of these podcast episodes. So
I think you're right.
Yeah, the other idea I had that I stole, obviously, is Kill Tony, where it's like we get comics up there. That's a hard gig too, though. Like we film it for them, obviously, or we film it and they become podcast episodes of local comics, which I think is super cool. It gets them a larger audience than just whoever's in front of them. Mm-hmm. The downside to that is that's another editing session for both of us. On top of obviously storage and all that kind of shit. And do comics even want to be taped is another question. Like the other part of that is like, are we going to be roast comics if they're set bombs? Basically the idea, if you haven't seen Kill Tony, is comics go up there. It could be anybody, doesn't matter. You could be doing it your first time or your 900th time. You sign up. It's an open mic. You get up there. You do your set. He gives you a minute, and then he critiques it. And if you're terrible and, like, that, the crowd knows it, he knows it, you get roasted to fuck. Mm-hmm. Or if you do really well, he offers you there's a guy, Redman, who can offer you a show on Thursday. Mm. Obviously, we wouldn't have that. But, so that's another idea I was thinking. Like,
pretty cool.
Seems like a lot of work.
There's a lot of work involved in that. Mm-hmm. I love Kill Tony though. You put me onto that, and that's a cool one.
We listened to a lot of it on the Bachelor trip. I think we picked the one episode that wasn't funny the whole way through.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of episodes because it's all open mics.
Yeah,
it's like if you get 5 comics in a row who are just bombing, like for whatever reason, it's rough. It's rough to hear, but.
One woman wasn't even being edgy. I feel like she was just being racist.
Yeah.
That was an interesting one. They called her out on that too. They're like, "This was an interesting choice."
So you did a minute of racism. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. Either way, it's going to be fun. As the time gets closer, we'll solidify it. We'll all put our heads together and really make it an experience, like a show kind of. It should be fun either way.
We're also thinking of having like a best comic of the night, interesting sort of thing. It'd be hard to judge that.
Laughter, I suppose, or let the crowd judge.
Yeah.
But if you've got 30 comics, who knows?
Yeah, just because it's like not everyone's going to stay the whole time. So would it be like an applause situation?
I think we would just decide,
or like a voting thing.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what he's saying is like not everyone's going to stay. Because we're doing what from 7.
I just meant like put the name of the comedian in the hat that you liked the best.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, while you're there, just do it rotation. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we could just put their picture up too, like best comic of the night.
Nice.
Yeah, and then date it, have them sign it. Be cool. I really, really, really want to get Adam Pasai Really do. I love him.
Cool.
He's probably my favorite comic right now.
He's really funny.
Yeah. He is great. I follow him on Instagram, and he's funny as shit. I can't figure out. He keeps putting up a post on his stories where he's like, I'm back in Seattle, which is where I live. And then, like, he's like, I'm doing this. And I've seen, like, 4 of those. So I'm trying to figure out, does he actually live in Seattle? Or is he just, like, joking? So, anyway, yeah, I think that's going to be a fucking blast. We'll figure it out. We'll let you guys know what happens. Definitely come on down. Keep watching our social media. We will post about it as we get closer. And I will post about it on my social media, and we'll make it a thing. And RCB will post about it on theirs. So,
nice.
Very cool. I was sick pretty recently, and I'm kind of stealing your thunder here for just a second.
No, it's okay. I'll bounce off of it.
Okay. I was sick fairly recently, and I think it was Olive Garden tortellini, and I never get to go to Olive Garden, like once a year.
I can't even remember the last time I've been to
I
Olive
haven't
Garden.
been in years.
I fucking love honestly, now that I'm saying it, and after I went this last time, I'm like, I really just like the salad and breadsticks.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's most
it.
people, right? Not
Yeah.
like the talk.
I'm like, I could just go there and eat that for dinner and be good. But we went on a date night, and I got ziti, and she got tortellini. We had left her tortellini in the car while we went somewhere else, and we were out for like 4 hours. We come home that night, she heats it up. She has a couple of pieces, I have a couple of pieces, and then we go to bed. I wake up the next morning, and I'm like shitting and throwing up immediately. And I woke up at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And it was just brutal. I think I threw up like four to 6 times in like a couple of hours.
Just lasted a few days, didn't it?
It did. It lasted a few days. I was like, at one point, I felt like pregnant because there was so much gas buildup in me. I couldn't sleep. I was like, this is what it's like to feel pregnant. Because I would like,
Felt like you need to get like stabbed in the gut like the cows do.
Yes.
Just let it drain out.
dude, I was like sleeping on the couch just because I was like, oh God. Yeah. And I would roll over, and then like I would just be like so uncomfortable on my stomach, like terrible.
It's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah. Long story short, I did end up shitting my pants.
Didn't you lose 10 pounds?
I did lose 10 pounds.
You found him in his underwear.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
We knew he was full of shit.
It was
Made that
nuts.
joke.
I have never felt like weaker in my life. And I'm the type of person to like refuse to take over-the-counter drugs for some reason. And I finally did end up taking some over-the-counter drugs, and I immediately felt 10 times better.
You just suffered for a few days when you could have just...
Rode the NyQuil out.
Wow.
Like an
Did
idiot.
you take any Tums or Pepto-Bismol?
The last day.
The last day.
Yeah. And then the next day, I was like, I'm fine. Look at that.
Wow.
Yep. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
I am no stranger to shitting my pants. It happens like way too often as an adult. The last time was like after Ridgefield Craft Brewing. I think we talked about it on the podcast how I was like in the bathroom that entire experience.
Yes.
But what was even better was the next day. And I think I sent the boys a text. And I was like, I keep re-entering the bathroom, and every time I have to go, I'm just hearing Bodies by Drowning Pool in my head. I'm just like, 1, nothing wrong with me. 2, nothing wrong with me. 3, nothing's got to give. So there's just lots of that going on. But
It's such an odd song to like latch onto while you're destroying a bathroom.
It seems like it would give me anxiety.
Yeah.
it was just like the counting part of it, because like you're like plopping one after the other. Like, nothing wrong with me, because it's like not solid.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I finished my session in the toilet, and I went down to my music space or whatever, and there's no bathroom down there. And I finished practicing whatever, and I started having to go to the bathroom again. I'm like, okay, I'll go up there, but I had to fart. So I trusted it a little bit too hard as I was walking out the door, and I was suspicious. I thought it was just like a little wet. So
Oh God.
And you were just going to be cool with that?
Well, no, I was evaluating the situation, because the nearest bathroom between my house and my music space is
The forest.
What? It's not 100 yards, but it's a distance. So I was a little wet, and I was like, is it just in my cheeks, or did it make it out of the gate? And I pulled down my pants, and like the underwear was soiled. So then at that point,
it's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
I'm also imagining this in your long ass driveway.
this is where it gets better.
Okay.
Is that like I have to make a decision? I was like, do I do the walk of shame and squish it between my cheeks the whole way,
Ew.
or do I
puke?
or do I like what do I do? I don't really have an option here.
Did you walk naked?
There. So
Just dick out.
That's
shooting
immediately
himself.
what I would
So
do.
Like
I
a
already have my
hippo.
pants down at this point. I'm like trying to contemplate what to do, and I kind of just sent it, and there was a bucket right next to the door.
No.
So I pulled the bucket, and I just decided to finish the job, and I shit into the bucket right outside the music studio.
Was it light out?
It was daytime, completely daytime.
Oh my God.
So good thing no one drove up the driveway. But I finished the job, squatted over the toilet, and as I'm like mid poo, it starts pouring down rain and hailing, and I'm right under the gutter to the roof of the shop. So I'm getting drenched by pouring water and hail while I'm taking a shit. I'm just getting soaked.
So you had a bad day.
Shit. Bucket.
Yeah. I'm just imagining your brother pulling up and being like, I fucking hated it.
That's my bucket. He would have been horrified if he saw
Yeah.
what happened. So yeah, then I finish what I'm doing. I'm soaking wet. Then I have to figure out like what I'm gonna do now, because I'm not in any better position than I was. Now I just have a steaming pile of shit in a bucket right next to me.
Yeah.
Same issue. So then I like waddle. I try not to like do anything, but I bend over and I like stick my ass in the air and like waddle into the shop, which is the room next to the music studio. And I'm just looking for anything like a dry rag or some shop towels to like clean myself up. And there's nothing. It's just all like sawdust. And I use some dirty sawdust shop towels to wipe myself.
No.
And then I
feel like he just like tarred and feathered himself.
Yeah. It just sounds like you gave up.
what was I supposed to do?
I think my plan would have been
Run
just
back to the house.
huck it back to the
And
house.
then just get in the shower.
Yeah. I would much rather shit my entire
That
pants.
story you just told me is like, it's hard to be your friend now.
So then I threw the shop towels in the bucket with the shit. I carried the bucket to the house, and then I just left it there.
No, really?
I think it wasn't garbage day yet, and so I was just like, let's just leave it in the hut.
God.
So then
My God.
I washed my hands, and I told my mom about it, and she's like, you need to make sure your brother doesn't find that.
He's going to lose it.
Yeah, he's like, you need to get rid of that right now. I was like, well, I'll take the garbage down. So I take my
Those
shit
poor
bucket.
garbage guys.
Oh my
I
God,
took
are
my
you
shit
kidding
bucket
me?
down to the end of the road.
They're like, these fucking hicks. I hate this route.
Yeah.
That's one of the most foul stories I think I've heard.
Yeah, absolutely. It would have been way more honorable to just shit your pants and walk inside, dude, for sure.
Yeah. That just kept getting worse and worse.
I know. I thought there was
I'm
going to be a
like-
redemption arc.
I think I'm done with this episode now.
Well, funny story. We are done with the episode. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Jesus.
I didn't time that one, but it was 30 minutes.
Yeah, I've paid attention. It was at like 16 when we started.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. One
Wait,
down.
Or 6.
19 minutes?
Yeah.
Really? Should we keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, we should keep
All
going.
right, just kidding.
Okay. Is it still filming on mine?
Yes,
Yeah, we'll just.
I just want to keep this in. This
Yeah. We're keeping it in. It's not. We haven't hit our time yet.
we were trying to get.
Trying to get the fuck out of
I
here.
think,
so
I think it was
confident.
16, and then I was like, wait a second, that doesn't add up properly.
I know. I should be 40.
Everyone watching is like, wow, that was a short one. Thank God. And they're like, nope.
Blake shit
Got out of
himself.
that.
Goodbye.
We can't really say anything much.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. That's fucking nuts. I cannot believe you did that.
I went and told people about it. Everyone. about
Yeah.
it.
I called Haley and I told her about it.
Really? Was she proud?
No.
No. No.
Look, everybody gets into some bad situations every once in a while.
But
you had a very bad day.
I had lots of decisions to make. I made the wrong one.
And you made the wrong one every time.
Well, I mean, yeah, Blake's panicked, so he
My
clearly
favorite
did not
part is
handle
just
that right.
mid shit squat over the bucket, just getting drenched by the gutter.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. God, I recently had a conversation with a couple of people. No, maybe I shouldn't even tell the story. Let me think about that. I have heard from the haters, I should say, that I have an ego now because we do the podcast.
Wait, who's been telling you that?
I don't want to talk about it.
Not naming names.
Not naming names. No, I've heard it. You've said it. Colton said it.
Well, I didn't have to say it. When you after one of the episodes and you found out that people were finding Blake and I's parts more easy to laugh at, and you're like, "Look, I need you guys to fake laugh when I tell jokes."
That was the best thing.
That is not what I said. Not word for word.
I don't know.
That was damn near
We're
almost.
talking about your ego. We're gonna fucking drag you through the gutter right
I was
now.
gonna say that was
Never should have wrote this
100%
down.
a red flag. I was like, "Yeah, buddy's hurt." He's like, "I'm sitting in the middle."
What I
I'm supposed to
said.
be the one funny.
What I was saying is that there's a lot of dead air going on. All right, and I was like, we all should fake
After you
laugh, but mostly at me, and also I'm funnier than you guys give me credit for. So then I started a stand-up comedy career. God damn it!
Yeah, exactly.
I'll let those people not laugh at me.
Oh man.
It was funny last episode when you were like, people are like, "Why do you guys do the podcast?"
Yeah,
You don't understand.
you don't get it. All right, that's our primary objective is the podcast. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have heard that a couple of times recently, and I don't feel like anything's changed, but I feel like you guys are threatened because I'm famous now. So
I do like to watch your face anytime somebody brings up, I like the on the go episodes more.
it drives me nuts.
And just watching you turn the color of your shirt right now.
It's not better.
The quality is arguably a lot worse. Last episode, couldn't even hear my voice.
Well, I was on purpose. But no, it is. The quality's a lot worse. And honestly, now that we're getting into it, I feel really bad about that interview that we did with RCB. The mics that are over there charging right now fucked us.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with, like, it looked like they were all synced up right, and then
I know. I was like, I didn't second guess myself, which I should have. I was just like, ooh, it looks like something's not working right. Whatever, to respect their time, we got to move on. But it turned into like my mic wasn't working and someone else's mic wasn't working. And it was just like, okay, so now every time I ask a question or talk, I have to take the audio from the phones and use that, which is like there's background noise and then they sound kind of tinny and like I tried to fix that. I fucked that up, the audio up 10 ways from Sunday. So
I am desperately trying not to sugar daddy the on the go episode, but we might be in that territory.
no, I'll look into better options. I think a boom mic would be great.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
But how do we set that up in a McDonald's and not look like fucking idiots?
I don't know.
That's- I like the inconspicuous way that we do it.
But it's just not working. Not well.
I mean, I think it works when that was the first time that we tried to use all those mics, and I think that's why there was an issue. Like,
it's true. We should have just stuck to two and passed them around.
We should have tested that at, like, hindsight being 2020. We should have tested
we had
that
the
out.
resources, just bring these.
Yeah,
But
that's true. Why didn't we do that?
I don't know.
I don't
think
know
we
either.
thought it'd be too much work or something.
True. And we didn't know if they were going to have cords and shit. Yeah.
We showed up with no tables or chairs, and they supplied everything.
Yeah, that's true. Next interview we do, we will just bring these, I think. You know. For the on the goes, we're going to keep those shitty microphones just so you guys get it through your fucking heads that they're terrible. No, I like them.
We could. I have this Zoom recorder thing that has 2 inputs on it. That's the only downfall would be you could only get 2 inputs. Or maybe, I'm thinking about it now, the only thing is if we wanted to get more than 2 inputs, we'd have to have a power source. But we don't.
Yes.
Do you think they make like those rechargeable batteries thing, but do they have ones with plugins on them? Like a actual...
You're kind of just talking about a generator at that point, I think.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty big and expensive. So
I want that. I want the portable.
Me too.
Because then we could actually make it good.
I just want shit that works. I'm looking at cameras that are like, they have these kind of mics on them.
Yeah.
You know,
like
and
$2,000.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, God, dude. If we got more Patreon subscribers, we could do that. But we don't, and we can't.
We're doing our best.
Yeah.
It's not very good, but
it's something. So anyway, yeah, I have been getting talked to about my ego a lot lately. And I feel like nothing's changed. I feel like people are just coming up with excuses now. Like they have better excuses as to why my ego, you know. It's always been like this. I've always had a large ego. And then
your personality hasn't changed. You just have more outlets to be in the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You put it the best that I try explaining that to different people though.
You just see me on TV now.
Honestly,
you don't like
multiple people.
Yeah. Could you just explain what you just said to multiple people? That I've always been an asshole, and like now I just have 2 platforms I can do it on.
Yeah, it's like they see you on the internet. And now that's a problem.
Exactly. Exactly. Now they're like, oh, it's because of this. And it's like it's always been like this. Actually. I've always been a piece of shit.
Don't click on the videos.
Yeah. Don't watch them then. I don't know. Yeah, so I've been really working on
being humble,
trying. I guess I don't know. I don't
You're
know.
Trying to show interest in people.
Yeah,
not talking about yourself.
I think so.
How was your day? Oh wait, I don't care.
Oh wait, I don't give a fuck.
Did you hear about my podcast? I shit on pizza places.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I have actually gotten a lot better about not talking about the podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, outside of this. Like, I think I used to do it a lot because I was so excited about it. And I think, I know Jaden in particular was like done with me coming home every single day after work and being like, oh, we could do this. We could do this. Here's how this went. And she was like, enough. Fucking, I don't care. Like,
I love how she's the one hearing these ideas and they don't make it to us because she just shoots them down.
yeah, well, no, she's just kind of like, that's cool. And she's like, she's supportive for the first day that I talk about it. And then by the 4th day, we're through our week and I'm still talking about, and she's just over that. I think the obsession with this kind of stuff. So
sounds understandable.
it was completely understandable. And I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
So
I think all 3 of us have run our course with the podcast with our significant others.
I think so too. I think they're kind of just like, you guys sure are talking about this whole thing a lot and not seeing any income from it. So
what are we at now? So we're still at $13 a month? Or we dropped out?
Yeah, no, we're still at 13. We didn't drop. I thought we did, but still there. We need more Patreon members though. That would be cool.
We need more content.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing is like if we got paid to do this, like all, like an okay amount, enough to quit our jobs, then
It's a good amount.
It'd be a lot.
that's a good amount. Yeah, I know.
Over 150 grand.
Well, it's not crazy though. I mean, there's plenty of podcasts out there doing it, plenty of comedians that are doing it. They're already famous, most of them. But not out of the realm of possibility. That actually is the end of our episode. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see how much of that little mishap we keep in. But thanks for watching. Check out our other videos. This one's going to be a little bit shorter, and so are the next couple of ones, but packed full of content. Love you guys.
The courses, yeah!